How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Vacant Voice with us today. They can say their names and what they do in the band.
My name is Michael. I play guitar.
My name is Brad. I'm the vocalist.
There we go. Well, guys, I want to give this interview a huge caveat because I recorded this interview months ago. I'd say probably about a month ago. And I was going through my computer and cleaning out some old videos I had, and I had accidentally deleted their interview. And then I frantically texted Mike and said, "Oh my God, I deleted your interview. What am I going to do?" And he's like, "Let me hit Brad up." And so obviously we're here again. This is the day before it comes out. So this is about the quickest turnaround I think I've ever done for an interview. So this will be all quick. And actually, we were talking about it off camera anyway. It's perfect timing because they just released a new song called Roscoe's Violent Dreams, which I did a reaction video to. And if I sound really gravelly and just really just messed up, it's because I have a cold. So if you deal with this interview and also the reaction video, God bless you, because my voice is hurting right now. So, but anyway, I wanted to ask guys with Vacant Voice, and I imagine some of these questions, if not all of them, are going to sound very familiar to you. But with Vacant Voice, how did that project start out? How did you guys come to be and, get your members?
So Brad and I used to play in a band together called 11th Hour on Set a while back. And once that had split up, I kind of knew that I wanted to do something still. Brad at the time when EHO had broken up, Brad wasn't a part of it anymore at that point. And getting the gears for this turning, I had sent him some, stuff that I had been working on with someone else. And he came over a day or two later and we tracked some vocals on it. And from there, it took us a while to find the right people. We actually wrote everything that we have right now with kind of a different lineup. We had a different drummer and different guitar player alongside me, and we found them after a couple years of already kind of having things rolling, and then we finished things up with our current lineup, and here we are, I guess. I mean, long story short.
And I think that's cool because I remember in the last conversation we had, it was really interesting to know that, after all that time of being kind of a part in a project and then just you randomly DMing Brad and being like, "Yo, man, have new songs. You want to check them out?" And he was like, can we just do it together? That'd be sick. And I think that was the thing that I took away from the last interview is just with projects, you could never really or people that you were with projects that happened before that, you can't just close the door. I'm glad that you and Brad reconnected and were able to do it because legitimately before we hopped on, I was actually, while you were calling me, I was finishing up the video for the reaction, and I was just the Roscoe's Violent Dreams just has this kind of way about being kind of modern, but in the same vein being very nostalgic, at least for me. I think bands that kind of immediately I got vibes from were Silverstein, some older Silverstein stuff, some older Census Fail stuff, and then I would say more modernly I would say Movements, especially with the intro and the outro that felt very melodic, and I think it just made me excited to listen to what's going to be coming out in the future, because if that's the starting point, I feel some of the other songs that are going to be coming out, I'm going to be even more stoked on, because I feel this is just you're just giving us a little bit of a surprise at the beginning to kind of get everybody excited for the music to be released. So I'm curious what other people think about it in regards to sharing the song around, because it's been out for a few days now. How's the response been, and how have you guys been going through that process? Because I imagine taking a hiatus from being in a band for a bit to coming back and doing this again is quite a daunting process. So how has that been for both you guys?
It's been pretty good. I think we were really anxious to finally get this stuff out there, and we had planned about the release prior, at least I would say 6 months, because it was coming up, so we were reaching out PR, stuff like that, and it's gotten around quite a bit, and a lot of positives so far. A lot of people did say similar stuff to what you said, being kind of nostalgic, but still more modern, stuff like that. So just really good like responses and critiques so far. So yeah, and I can't wait to see what the other songs are going to do too, in terms of who they reach and what they think.
Yeah, we were super, we had a lot of intention with putting this song out first, because this is like the most like middle ground song that we have
Oh, okay.
in this body of work that we've put together so far. I'm not gonna dig into details all too much yet, because I mean, it's not like we have anybody that's telling us that we can't talk about these things. We just don't want to, at the moment, talk about them
You
just
gotta
yet
have a
because we're
little
getting
secret, you
started.
know?
Yeah, but the songs that we have put together right now are extremely dynamic. Like, I feel like a lot of people say that when they're talking about the music that they put together, like, oh yeah, like we kind of hit a little bit of everything, but we genuinely, I think you have the folder with everything that we have in it.
Yeah, I do.
It it bounces around a lot,
Okay.
and this is like the most, like, this song was the most like middle ground mutual thing that we had, that we knew that like we could really reach everyone with, like.
Yeah, I think that's why we chose this song for our first release, just because it would appeal to the largest demographic. And
Yeah,
really, we just wanted to see what sort of reactions we could capture with that. And basically just, kind of gauge like, okay, this song has a little bit of everything from the album in
Mhm.
it. So if you like this, then you're definitely going to like some parts of the other songs on the album for sure. Just that sort of thing. So
Yeah, I think it lays a good groundwork for what you guys have. And I felt like with like the last interview I did, I didn't feel like I knew what you guys were kind of going about, but I think for me to actually listen to, one of the songs that is out now, which everybody can go check out with, the links in the description. Um, I think for me, it gave me a better perspective on what you guys are doing and what you guys are going to possibly going to be doing in the future. Obviously, I'll check the folder out a little later on, but um, yeah, I think it gave me ideas of like, okay, this is kind of this is step one of like however many songs they have on this album. How melodic are they gonna go? How like heavy are they gonna go? That's kind of like the questions that I had about after I listened to it, which was like just moments ago.
yeah,
And I think that makes me excited because I like the really melodic aspects of Roscoe's, but I also love the heavier elements with Brad's screamings, and I just love how, at least the way that the song was written, it's just how much Brad cuts in the mix. So I absolutely love that, and also the fact that both you and Mike kind of do dual vocals at the same time. I thought that was so sick. Definitely, that's when the nostalgia kind of like clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, this has that nostalgia to it, but also at the same time, it's like I think it's a fresh take on like post hardcore. There's a little bit of like melodic hardcore in there, and so I'm curious how far reaching, how far branching you guys are going to be going, going further now.
those are the questions we wanted to make people ask. So
Well, you're asking the right question. I mean, I feel like they're asking the right questions to you, and I feel like obviously recording a reaction video, I get to say my piece via the internet. But it was really cool, and I'm really gonna be excited to see what you guys have putting out next. And I'm obviously glad that you and Brad reconnected as well, because if this music didn't come out, I'd be a little devastated, honestly, because it's real good, and I hope everybody checks it out, honestly. But in regards to what's going to be coming out, I have to know, like, is there any song that you're most excited for people to listen to that is to be released? Because I feel like everybody says like, oh, the new song, it's great, like go check that one out, and that's not to discount Roscoe's, I love it. But is there another song that's in the pipeline that you're like, yeah, I'm really excited for people to listen to this one?
there's two for me. Definitely two. One, because it has, I'm not going to say like in detail, but like a really cool feature. Like
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool because it's like one of the vocalists from a band that I like aspire, I look up to and I really like. Um, and then the title track of the album.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
yeah, I think last time I probably said Roscoe's, um, which I am really stoked about Roscoe's. Still, obviously, I can't say that now because it's already been released.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, I feel like we're gonna double down on that. It is great song. So
I like Roscoe's a lot, but I'm really stoked for like all of the songs that we have for like different reasons. But in particular, the one with the guest feature that we have, I am super stoked for because like if if this release, if this part of the dynamic was enough to make people, really feel the nostalgia that we kind of had like with carrying that one out, that song in particular that we're talking about is gonna be like a nuclear explosion. Like in terms of like sonic like atmosphere, it's absolutely okay. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. I showed it to someone today, actually, Brad, just a little bit ago. I showed it to my mentor's mentor, and he was like, "This sounds like North Lane, not like New North Lane, like Singularity North Lane." And I was like, "Tight."
Dude, I feel like the lyrics that I write are so like North Laney sometimes in some of the songs, but I feel like in our prime with EHO, like that was like like my favorite band that I listened to all the time. Like one of our favorite bands.
Yeah. That album in particular was so
oh,
fucking
so good.
monumental. Like I used to wake up every day and just fucking rip the biggest bong bowl that I could, and then just fucking put my headphones in and walk to school listening to fucking Singularity.
Hell yeah, love it, brother. And then I also see in Brad's back wall, which I don't know if I made a comment on last time, but I see the reflections flag on the back, and I was like, yeah, that's a man of culture right there. So,
Oh yeah.
I absolutely love that. That album is great.
Yeah.
But I like it's cool to hear. I'm excited to check that one out. I'll have to give that one a listen, and then I'll have to DM you guys and let you know what I thought about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's cool to see. It's cool to see just the variation even within Roscoe's Violent Dream that I could already start to get those sorts of thoughts and ideas out already. And I think it just makes me excited that, obviously I know this, yeah, especially the material within the project is a little bit older. I'm curious to see what is going to be coming out, beyond this next album to release, because I feel like, getting your toes wet right now, and then I really feel like you guys are gonna dive headfirst in the deep end. So obviously, hope the album goes off well, certainly, so that you guys can be well on your way to the next album. But I don't want to also be that guy that's just like, so the album just dropped, and like I'm waiting for the next one already. Like it already should come out. Like
I didn't even listen to that one.
I didn't even listen to that. I just want to hear the second one now.
That's been me with so many bands, dude. I'm like, okay, but what else do you got? I need another thing right now. I know this is new, but I need another thing right now.
I think it's good though. Like I think there's like a healthy relationship with that where, like obviously you want to check out what's most current, but I think you should give yourself like a healthy amount of time to be like, let me listen to this album like really in depthly, and then bother them and say when's the next album coming out. Because if you just say it like day one right out the gate, then you're like, nah, nobody likes that. But if you did it like 3 months in, then you're like, okay, that's a fair assessment to make. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that if that's your thought process, then I feel like that's more than okay to do that. But the next question I have for you guys is, who is that first person that got you into music? Who is like the person you watched and you're just like, man, I'd love to make music. That'd be so sick.
Shit. Honestly, for me, it was Hollywood and Dead back in the day. And that's how me and Michael like became friends. He messaged me on Facebook. He was like, "Hey, are you an HU fan?" I was like,
I've tried to find that message before too.
"Yeah,
It's gone. It's gone.
Oh man, that would have been.
I mean,
sick.
that was in like 2010. So
fair enough. Yeah, that's in the prime.
So for me, it was my friend Darian's dad. My friend Darian and I would go over to her house all the time and kick it. We became friends when we were like 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad played in a punk band. And
that's sick.
Around the house, we listened to, just constant like Bad Religion, Less Than Jake.
Ooh.
A lot of Green Day. So I was kind of raised with like my secondhand family around a bunch of like punk music, and he played, Kevin, her dad played guitar,
Oh,
and I
sick.
was just obsessed with it. Like he has this really nice like cherry, fucking like dark cherry colored like Les Paul custom studio
Woo.
guitar, and he still plays in a punk cover band. Like I just watched him the other day with them at practice,
That's
just
so sick.
fucking crush it. And he was the entire reason I got into music. Nobody in my family plays music or anything. So
Oh, I do also want to add that my brother also, of course, because 11th Hour Onset was originally his band, so I grew up with them playing metal in our basement and shit. And he hooked my MP3 player up with like old fucking As Blood Runs Black,
Oh,
fucking Winds of Plague, shit like that.
that's awesome. Shout out to your brother. I feel like I feel it's always cool to hear how people get into like heavier music because I like took the path of like Prada, August Burns Red, like, all of those sorts of bands, and then I made my way into like heavier music beyond that point. Like Under Oath as well as another band. Like those are the bands I was like quote unquote allowed to listen to when I was a kid. And so beyond that and then kind of branching out from that, that was like my introduction to getting into heavy music. So it's always cool to hear people get into that. And then obviously shout outs to Green Day. Fantastic. I feel like most people in their like early, like mid to late 20s, just, Green Day was like the lifeblood. So I feel that. That's such a great band. So salutes to Green Day, still doing it. Um, but the next question I have for you guys is, who are some of the influences for Vacant Voice? Who are some of the artists that you guys drew from in regards to this project?
And I do want to a disclaimer. I don't think that we necessarily sound like these people that I'm going to name, but for
Okay.
me personally, I was inspired. I mean, I've for a while I've been very inspired by like August Burns Red, um, Periphery. As of the
Ooh,
last few years, I've been listening to a lot of them over the course of this. Under Oath, um, Invent Animate, kind of almost. I mean, I would say like my phase of really liking Invent Animate was also paired really well with like this resurrection of like North Lane
oh
that I
yeah.
got really into during that period of time as well. But again, I don't think we necessarily sound like these people. But that's for me personally, that was a huge inspiration for a lot of this.
For me, I would definitely say like Sam from Architects. There's a couple like sections in our songs where I kind of do that like pitched yell, green sort of
Mhm.
thing. Still working on that, kind of holding that in, but that was something cool and different that I tried as far as, a different vocal technique or range. So definitely them. I would say like Reflections, North Lane. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny, and I remember you guys telling me this the last time. Like, I think it's kind of interesting that you guys pull for more of that progressive metalcore style of music, but I feel with like Roscoe's, it's not. I don't feel like it's anywhere close to that. So it's
Yeah,
really
right.
cool to hear. It's cool to hear that and kind of connect the dots in that way because there are some elements melodically that I feel like you can kind of trace to like progressive metalcore. And I think it maybe be by like the structure of the song or some of the like more intricate drumming parts or like some of the way that the song is crafted in that way where I'm like, okay, they're thinking about it from more of a like progressive aspect, but it has this sort of like post-hardcore, melodic hardcore sort of sound to it. So I do appreciate the ability for you guys to, really take a fresh perspective on it. It almost reminds me very similarly to how like Counterparts writes their music. Like they're a heavy band, but I also feel like they draw aspects from like post hardcore. Brendan's doing a lot more clean singing in the most current album. So I feel like I feel like you can find the parallels between those two bands, and then as well as like a Silverstein or like a Census Failed. I feel like you guys bring that sort of nostalgia in that aspect. But I'm curious if you're just gonna release like a Gent album. The next album is just gonna be just like a bunch of eight strings and just like I
Maybe
can't
I
even
think
scream right now because my voice is so tapped out. But yeah, but we'll
yeah,
see.
definitely we'll see. But yeah, also oh yeah, Counterparts too. They're like one of my fucking favorite bands ever. I don't know how I could leave them out, but definitely some influences there. And then Roscoe's in particular, I would say draws a lot from like old Under Oath as well. But
Yeah. That's a good comparative. But honestly, the best comparative is for you to go check it out. So check the links in the description and let us know what you think in the
Yeah.
comments down below. But the next question I have for you guys is, what are you listening to more currently? What's on the Spotify? What have you guys been listening to lately?
I've been listening to a lot of Benjamin Todd,
Oh,
uh, a lot of Wu-Tang Clan the last few months, um, as well as Joey Valence, and Bray. I don't know exactly how you say the name
okay.
or his name. Sorry. And then honestly, a lot of like End and
Ooh, okay.
the new Periphery has been fucking
Yes.
slamming. The new City in Color has been fucking slamming.
My God, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I man, I'm like kind of in like a dry spell as far as finding like another band to like really delve into or like another album. But same things on rotation for me, like Idola, fucking Counterparts, Thrice, Dayseeker, of course. I've been
Mm,
jamming. I like when they do their reimagined stuff too. When they do their acoustic stuff, it's
yeah.
so fucking beautiful. Capstan, shit like that. And then, like I mentioned in the last time we did this interview, more like shoegaze, like dream pop type of style with like those ambient out there vocals and like kind of muddy guitars, shit like that. It's just more of like just kind of a vibe. Actually, one of our friends just started up a shoegaze project. They're pretty dope.
Nice.
I think their name's Censor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Check them out.
I will absolutely. I feel like as well. I also have to mention, like, I know Brad was talking about like the real ambient kind of stuff. I absolutely love. I've been listening to a lot of Loathe recently, so
Yes.
they're just a fantastic band. If you haven't checked them out, go do it. I want to give them a shout. But yeah, I love what you guys are jamming. There's some artists on there that I have to check out that I haven't already, and I also have to give you guys a shout for Dayseeker because man, they're killing it. So big salutes to them. They're doing some really cool stuff. So love them. But the next question I have for you guys is, if you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Do you remember what I said last time?
Kick in the Door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the song "Kick in the Door" by Biggie Smalls is like one of the best hip hop songs ever made, in my opinion. That is
Oh, nice. All right.
like one of the best fucking tracks in hip hop ever recorded. Shit is fucking flame, and like I would love to cover that, but there's this weird. Some things don't need to be fucking covered. Some things are great and perfect the way they were fucking done, and they don't need to be covered. And it's one of those things, like, that song is perfect, but I think we could figure it out. It would just take a lot of time, I think, to find
Yeah.
the right way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Like we don't want to just like completely shit on that in any sort of way, because like it's either you do it well enough to where it's like, like it's never going to be better than the original, but still like our take on it would be pretty cool. I feel it just has to be done right. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't really thought of any other songs. Like I feel like if we did it, it would have to be outside of our genre that we normally play.
Sure.
Because like
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just like I don't know, it just feels like unoriginal.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you, Brad, 100%. And I also feel like for myself, like whenever I see a band that I'm not familiar with and they do a cover that I like, or a song that I know and they're covering it, I think the best way for me to be really entranced with a band is if like they can do the cover of justice. Like there's something about it where like, okay, like you're doing this, how are you making it different or making it unique to your style? And if they can do that, then that's amazing. So I get you
I'd
on
also
that.
love to cover a Mac Miller song too.
Ooh, anyone in particular, Mike?
Our old guitar player and I started trying to decipher objects in the mirror off of watching movies with the sound off. Which that one would be really fun to cover, I think. There was also a song I listened to the other day that would have been really fun to cover. It was kind of an older one. I can't remember fucking what song it was though. But I'll figure that out someday and I'll bring it to the group chat, I guess.
Well, if you do, let us know.
Yes.
But guys, let us know. Vacant Voice, if you have a good cover song for them, drop them in the comments. I'm sure they'll check them out. Next question I have for you guys is if you guys were to have a dream collaboration on an up and coming Vacant Voice track, who would you love to have on?
Oh man.
Mike Branica. Mike Branica. I don't know how you're supposed to say the last name.
I think it's Haranica. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's Branica, dude. I don't
Really?
know. Either
Oh,
way,
okay.
Mike from Prada. That dude,
Mike from
I would
Prada,
love
yeah.
to have him on the song.
Shit. I don't know. It would be really cool to have like fucking Jake Lures, or who did we want to have instead of the feature that we went with, Michael? Jesse Cash?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep. It would be awesome to have Jesse Cash on a song.
Yep.
I would agree with that. That'd be really tight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious. Now it makes me curious to see who you actually got the feature from that wasn't Jesse. So now I'm going to have to, my intuition is going to carry on throughout this interview. But,
It's slamming.
all right. Well,
It's not slamming. It's really pretty.
either way, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
So, guys, let us know. Definitely comment your guesses in the comments, but also, if you want to hear Vacant Voices cover, do a collaborative track with Mike Haranica, or however you pronounce his last name, from Prada, and then we have Jesse Cash from Era. So make sure to tag him on Twitter, type in collab, and then, if it's on the internet, it's got to be real. So I feel like, we might as well put it out into the ether, so
Manifest.
it's manifest it.
Manifest, fellas.
Let's go, guys. The next question I have for you is, if you guys were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album you could listen to, what album would it be?
Little Hell by City and Color.
I think I'm going to go with the same one I said last time, and that was Roots Above and Branches Below by Prada.
Oh, classic. That is a classic album. I don't think they've done a 10-year of that one, have they? Yet?
They did with Roots Above. Yeah.
What?
I went to that.
Oh
I
my
went to
god.
that. Fucking insane.
Oh no, I think I did go to that because I'm almost positive because I went to Zombie, and I think Zombie came after that. So
Yep.
I feel like I did. If not, they should do a 15-year by this point. So I'm just saying,
right.
Prada.
Dude, the Zombie tour was fucking tight.
Oh, it was so much fun. That lineup was awesome. So I don't know what album's next. I think it might be. I want to say it might be like Dead Throne is their next album that's gonna turn a milestone year.
Yes. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think that's this year.
Damn.
I think that was
come on.
2013. No,
Prada.
actually, hold on. That might have been 2011.
I'm gonna look it up. I need to know now.
Yeah, because, with Roots Above was 2009. So, yeah, Dead Throne would have been 11 or 12, I think.
Let's take a look. It was 2011. So you're right. So they glazed over that one.
Yeah,
So,
damn, what the fuck? I'm pissed now. Well, I suppose that was 2021. There was not
yeah.
really for a while.
There was a lot of other stuff going on at that time, so that's to be fair. All right, so the next one, it would be, I was right, 818. So if they were to do a 10-year this year, it'd be 818.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they will.
I think they'll do a 10-year for Transit Blues.
They could, yeah. That's in a couple years. So,
yeah,
guys, get on it now. Make sure to bring Vacant Voice on tour with you guys. Okay, cool. Thank you. That was my show for the boys. Um,
Also, sorry, one reunion tour gravestone that I gotta just quickly shout out as being tragic is Violent Waves for Circa Survive. The 10-year was last year. Absolutely the fuck did not happen, and I think it's because the whole band hates that album, and that album is beautifully perfect. Rest
it
in
is a
peace.
great record. I feel like I go back and I get more appreciation for some of the older like circus stuff. Obviously, I'm a Blue Sky Noise fan. That's going to be my favorite one, but I have a lot of appreciation for some of the ones that I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that one, you know? So I feel like there's got to be some albums there that I have to go back and listen to. So let me know which ones I should. But the next question I have for you guys, I'm giving you a curveball question since you've already been on here, and I feel like just to switch it up a little bit. If there was one song that you wish that you wrote, what song would it be?
Actius Luna by Reflections.
I honestly don't think that I wish to have written or would wish to have written any song that I enjoy, because if I wrote it, I would not enjoy it.
What? Oh, okay. I need you to delve into that, Mike.
I mean, okay, so like I was talking to someone about this just the other day. A friend of mine, I like helped put together a song for them for their significant other,
Oh, that's good.
and like I think that the process of creating something and like being an artist, like it's super important to be confident in like what you do
Sure,
and
sure.
like really have belief in yourself. But like also, if you don't fucking hate it, like I think, okay, sorry, I'm gonna reword this. Everything I make, even though I might at times have more confidence in it than others because I just
Sure.
enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Everything that I hate, I ultimately or everything I write, I kind of ultimately end up hating a little bit, because there's always like little things that you will find that you don't like about them. It's the same with tattooing as well. Like when doing tattoos, like there are tattoos that I have done where I'm like, oh cool, like I like that, for me, I like that I've done that, but no matter what, each one, there's always something where it's like, fuck, I could have done that better, or I could have done that differently. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And like, if I had been the person to go through that process of creating this song, chances are I would fucking hate it. And the music that I like and enjoy, I would never want to not enjoy. So
I you know
Good.
I like that perspective, because I feel like Brad was right out the gate, knew exactly which song he wanted to write, and then you're like, let me think about this one, and
yeah,
you're like,
sorry. Just for me personally, I feel like
no, no, no.
I wouldn't be capable of like enjoying something as much as I do or would, not having been the person to go through the painful process of
I
making
just thought more so like what would be the most fun to like perform live, and what would be like obviously like my favorite song, and like what I think was written the best, like in
it.
terms of
Yeah,
like how it was composed. But like Michael has a point where like like anything that I write, like I've already heard it like 1,000 times.
Sure,
So like
yeah.
by the time it's released and it's out, I fucking hate it. But just how it goes. But
I get.
no, but
I Go
sorry,
ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Shoot,
I was
shoot.
just gonna say, in that regard, though, that's a great way. I didn't even think about it that way. When you put it that way, I think it would be really fucking fun, like really fucking fun to be able to be a member of the Wu-Tang Clan when they first like popped out on the scene, because like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Protect Your Neck live? That would be in like a just seas of people that are like just fucking getting it. Dude, I would love to have been fucking anyone but probably Old Dirty Bastard.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, I think I see both sides of it. Obviously, I get Brad's perspective because, like, for me, like, I can look back at some of my old interviews and I'm like, man, that's cringe. Like, I'm like, I sucked at doing this. And I look at the interview I'm doing right now and I'm like, man, I'm like slightly better than that. So I think for me, it's like I can get it because, like, if you do something enough, you're just like, you start dating it like a little bit. It's not that you don't like, it's not that you hate it and that you don't want to
Yeah.
do it, but it's like you have that little pit in your chest where you're like,
Mhm.
man, if I didn't fucking
Yeah.
do this, that
I
this would
could
be
do
great.
this differently. Yeah, do this
Yeah,
one a little bit differently. Then suddenly this would be the perfect thing ever, but I didn't do it. So
You have a different relationship with what you create than the people that consume it, you know?
sure.
Just like I was talking about last time, you know, like music is this thing that like means two entirely different things to
Oh
two
yeah.
different people that you are able to like meet at this space and time at, you know, like this common ground, you know, making something and sharing it with someone else. You guys find this parallel realm of like enjoying something for two completely different reasons from two different perspectives that just meet, that intersect, you know?
Yeah, I also think even too, like, I feel like sometimes people might actually come around to the songs that they've written. They're like, man, if I didn't like writing this song, or like, similarly to as you mentioned before, Mike, about like making a tattoo and being like, oh, I wish I did this or did something different. And then somebody says, oh, I actually like how you did it because you did it in your way and you did it in a different way. And I can find a different, like the way that it carried me emotionally or like, supported me in that sort of way. Like, that that holds a special place in the way that I listen to that song. So I think
Yeah.
it's just about realizing that like the people who create the music, sometimes might have things that they would want to change about it, and then the people that like the music are like, nah, it's great the way it is. So I think
Yeah.
it's like that way that you guys kind of connect, and I think that's kind of why I love enjoying interviewing so much, is the fact that like I get to talk about things that I think most people wouldn't give a shit about. But like for me, it's like such a cool thing because I'm like, oh man, this part of this song was really cool. And then you guys are like, oh, well, actually, we were trying to go for this or something like that. And I think it gives me a new perspective on like listening to the song. And then I can go back and listen to it and be like, oh, wow, that actually makes sense. That's actually really neat. And I hope that, by doing this interview, somebody else will have that same sort of thought or something similar. And, maybe it might just give them a newer idea of like Vacant Voice and what you guys are doing. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a diss. I love when I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
Mike's side, I appreciate Brad's sides. They're both equally great. So
Thank you.
kudos to you for both being honest about it. Not that I feel like you do anything less, but you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. No, of course. That's a
but
good one. I like that.
but the next question I have for you guys is, obviously you already know I'm a huge nerd, so I feel like I have to ask you this question again. If you guys could be a video game character, who would you be?
shit. I'm definitely gonna go with the same one as last time, Spyro. Gotta go old school retro. That'd be super tight, just to fly around as like a fucking dragon.
I would say either Sly Cooper or Murray from the Sly Cooper gang. Because he's like this big fucking hippo that like tiptoes everywhere and to fucking kill people. He just like jumps up in the air and fucking body slams. Just body slams on top of him and fucking disintegrates him.
Oh my god, so terrible, but also great. I feel like that's a pretty underrated PlayStation game. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it. So
Yeah.
I love
Good
that.
fucking game.
Also, I love Brad's answer. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this the last time I interviewed. Is was that like me and my other buddy and our other friend, we all had like one guy bought the Xbox, one guy bought the PlayStation. I had all the Nintendo stuff, so we'd all swap houses.
Yeah.
We'd be like, oh, okay, this game, we gotta get this game. All right, Xbox, we gotta get Halo Master Chief. All right, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get whatever the latest Mario game is, and then we would go and just
Just rotate.
rotate. It was great. So salutes to the nostalgia video game lovers out there. Love you guys. Next question I have for you is, if you guys were to compile a dream tour lineup including Vacant Voice, who would you love to take on this wild tour?
Hmm. Um. There's so many good bands that we would be undeserving to tour with, but
I don't know about that.
shit, man. Definitely Architects. Maybe Plot and You. Also repping their shit. today.
Ooh, yes, nice.
Um. Architects, Plot and You. Probably like Spirit Box. And then I really love the fuck out of Capstan too. Like I
Ooh,
haven't
yeah,
seen
they're
them live,
great.
but I want to see them live, and it'd be even cooler to share the stage with them. So I think that's what I got for mine.
So I think I would really like to do, and in this order, with us opening, obviously we're, a very, very small project, but I would love to just see every artist in the night. I don't want to have to worry about like not catching a set because of, moving some shit or having to get ready or whatever. But so us, JID, JID.
Ooh, yeah.
This is a tough one. JID, North Lane, August Burns Red, and The Ghost Inside.
Ooh.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that would be, and like if it was like a big package tour, maybe also slip in like Gideon.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. Yeah.
That'd be fire as fuck.
Absolutely. And Prada.
Oh,
If it was like a large package
it's
tour.
the Vacant Voice Fest.
For a whole day. Yeah.
It's
like
a
miniature fest. That would be fucking sweet.
Well, we're gonna just merge Brad's tour and your festival together. It's the Vacant Voice Fest, guys. Listen, I don't know what we have to do. I don't know what we have to do to make this happen, but like I know people, people, so something's gonna have to. Let's make it happen.
We'll make a shout.
Voice Fest.
What was that, Mike?
Call it Voice Fest.
That's
no instrumentalists. Get the fuck out of here, Polyphia.
I shouldn't be a part of it either because I've lost my voice, so I can't. I shouldn't be a part of it. No, that would be very sick. So guys, if you want to make that happen, that'd be very awesome. I would personally love it. I've been absolutely loving the new Gideon stuff lately. Waiting for their new album. So stoked. And also, I also have to give a shout outs to Brad's Sweatshirt again, The Plot and You, their new song. Chef's Kiss. I'm so excited to see what they're going to be doing next because I feel like their new song Left Behind just like popped off. So stoked for them. Landon's been working his ass off for like years, so big salutes to him. Next question I have for you guys is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
I'm not much of a movie watcher or TV show guy. Trying to think. I just recently binge watched Fantastic Beasts. Those are all pretty good.
Ooh, okay.
Inside of like the Hogwarts universe, that sort of thing. Of course, Harry Potter.
Fuck J.K. Rowling though. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
Well, yeah, but shit. Yeah, I think that's all I got really. Maybe Stranger Things comes around once a year.
Okay.
Always binge watching those, but yeah, that's about it.
So, part one to the show, Alf, because I grew up really, really loving Alf. But I really, really enjoyed the Mayans TV series.
Ooh, okay.
Mayans MC. Movies from younger years, like the Boondock Saints movies. The movies are really good. I count those as one. And these days, I honestly think that A Million Ways to Die in the West is one of the fucking funniest movies ever made in history. So I'm gonna have to include that in there.
I love that. That sounds fantastic. I've only seen like clips, so I'll have to watch the full movie. I don't think I've seen the full movie.
Definitely watch it. It's funny.
I'll have to check it out. Next question I have for you guys is, I think I asked you this last time, but certainly I'll ask it again. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance in terms of bands you've seen?
Were you there with me when I know I saw them, but Stick to Your Guns, they popped off that night. I think they played with, was that Amity?
That was with Architects.
Ooh.
And Architects and Counterparts at the rave. Yeah, that was me and you. You and Kirsten.
Yeah, that was a wild show. That was my first time I ever crowd surfed was to Architects. That was
That's amazing.
Crazy. Under Oath was fucking wild. Just so much energy in their music, man. Yeah, those three artists are fucking crazy, and to have them all on one ticket was crazy.
Prada, August Burns Red, Under Oath, and Yellow Wolf are probably the best
Ooh.
live shows I've ever been to. Also, dude, I can't go to Under Oath and Periphery and Loathe because I forgot I'm gonna be in fucking Oklahoma at a tattoo convention.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, dude, I'm so pissed. I was looking at other dates. I was like, which ones can I go to? Although I will say, if the Cleveland convention goes really well, I'm just gonna buy a fucking plane ticket. I'm gonna fly home Saturday morning, early as fuck, and fly back Saturday evening if I can.
What day is that?
I can't remember. It's
I
some
think
day in March. I think it's during the second weekend of March.
it's got to be because the one that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going to is the 4th of March.
They're going to be at the rave on the 11th.
Yeah.
They'll be in Pittsburgh on the 8th.
There you go. Do it up, Mike. You gotta do it. Those are all three bands that kill it live.
Yeah, well, we'll see if I can afford to buy a fucking like $700 plane ticket. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't. If I probably can't. I probably won't be
Oh.
able to. But these conventions sometimes go really, really, really fucking good. So if it goes really, really, really fucking good, I'm gonna be bougie and I'm gonna do it because I don't feel like I'm gonna get that fucking tour package experience like ever again.
Yeah, I think that one's is a pretty monumental show to go to. But guys, if you go to see Mike at any tattoo convention, help this man out.
Yeah.
You need to help him out.
Tip me
him what?
$5,000.
If I could
Please.
tip you $5,000, I would.
That's funny. No, I'm just
I'll look
I would
into my
never-
bank
I would-
account and I'll have maybe like 2% of that, maybe if I'm being
I
lucky.
don't think I would ever be able to do that. I don't know if I could ever accept that kind of tip unless someone was like, "Hey, bro, look at my wallet," and he's like, and his wallet was like owner of Ford, or like
Owner of the color
millionaire badge or something. You know, like if he was like, "Yeah, I operate. I'm Elon Musk's personal assistant."
Yeah, I'm
I'd
a
be like,
multi-mega
okay.
millionaire. You're like, oh yeah, this is just $5 to me. It's cool.
All right, I'll take that $5,000. If there's anything else that you would like to give me to absolve yourself of your sins,
You're
feel
like, here's another $5,000. You know, because
Right.
you didn't take the original 5,000, so I'm giving you 10,000 now.
Yeah, take it.
Take it. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Get this man 10 grand. And the next question I have for you guys, the last one. You know, I have a huge love for interviewing bands. It's something I'm massively passionate about, and obviously creating music for you guys. I'm sure this is very much a passion project for you, and creating music is a passion for you as well. But why do you guys create music? Why is it such an important factor in your life? Because realistically, very similarly to myself, you could be doing anything else. So
It's like the least thing that's like a real job that you can still do to, like, you know, I mean, like, that's not the goal in the end though, right? But,
sure.
but at least you could still have like an insane amount of fun doing something that you love, meet a ton of cool people, and still maybe bring home enough to get a pizza at the end of the show or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Sure.
pretty dope. And I think the biggest thing is like, you know, just being like, hey, I'm here, and this is what I have created so far with my existence on this planet. You know, it's just like a way of being like, you know, I'm a human, and being able to relate to other people in that sort of way, and just being like, yeah, I mean, this is what I like, and just being able to present that to other people.
Yeah, I feel very similarly to that as well. It is really, really fun, you know. I mean, just playing music with your homies, you know, and being able to just kind of let loose. I think it's a kind of like I was saying earlier, you know, it's a really cool way to kind of meet people in the middle of existence in a way. And I also really like, you know, what I really like about music is something that I also really like about tattooing is that, you know, it's a way for me to kind of help you know, let out a lot of my feelings, you know, and it's
Sure.
something that can make my day really, really good, or alternatively, sometimes really, really fucking bad. Like, it has that power, you know, to either lift you in this direction or this direction. And I think that that's something that's super cool about it. And in its own way, it's perfect, to a degree because of
Sure.
that. Because it can be very, very humbling, and it can also be very, very reassuring. And I think that that is something that's really neat about it, and a big part of why I really enjoy writing music.
Yeah, I feel like there's this level of gratification that you feel like when people say like, "Oh man, I really like that song. You guys did a fantastic job about it." It's very similarly to me doing YouTube, you find that gratification and people being like, "Yo, really like that check this band out. Like this band I've been listening to for like so many years and I'm so glad somebody else checked them out." And like that's a cool feeling in and of itself, but then you also get like I don't know, you get that imposter syndrome of like you're like, "Oh man, there's somebody out there that's like doing it better than me that should be whatever." And I think that um you if you allow that to take over your headspace, like that's what's going to be kind of the driving force, and I imagine a lot of creative people are like that, unfortunately. Um but I also feel like with my platform, and I imagine very similarly to you guys, I hope that I can share my love of music and why I love my friends enough to have them on here to talk about their music and why they love to do it um, because I think at the end of the day, everybody has some sort of creativeness within them, whether it's tattooing someone, making music, drawing art, something like that, where they're being creative in that aspect. And I think that should be celebrated, whether you're doing it, however you're doing it. And I think that that sort of positive motivation will help somebody carry on to that next stage or that next place where they need to be in order to create it. And I know I've known Mike for a couple years now, and he's been absolutely crushing it. And so I'm glad that Vacant Voices out here, and I got to obviously meet Brad as well too, twice now. This is very sick. And obviously, best of luck to Vacant Voice because I really liked Roscoe's. It was such a great, fantastic track, and obviously, this is the best segue into the last thing, guys. Tell them where they can find Vacant Voice at and what you guys have coming up in the next couple months.
You can find Vacant Voice on pretty much everything: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon. You can also go to vacantvoice.com. We have links to our social media on there. We have links to our music. We have a merch store. We have a little about section kind of deal. Go check it out. Find us.
Woo!
Find us.
Also, I'm going to plug our first show. We're playing our first show in Racine. So if you're from the southeastern Wisconsin area, Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, we're playing at the Void on March 24th. And yeah, come hang out.
Yes.
There you go. Well, I don't live in Racine, but if I did, you bet your ass I was going to be at that show. So be there for me. I'll be there like a Tupac hologram. I'll just show up and if somebody
So
has the ability to like hologram. Yeah, somebody has the ability to just like 3D model me and then hologram me out into the show. That'd be really sick. So DM me if you got that type of technology. If not, then I'm just gonna pray them there in spirit.
Yo, Elon.
Yeah, I know you got the goods, so don't lie to me.
Yo,
Yo,
I'll find an app that I can record video with on my MetaQuest 2, and I'll play the show with my MetaQuest 2 on, and like I'll still be able to see things, I would hope. And I'll send you that.
Oh
I'll
my
send
god.
you-
That'd
That
be
would be
great.
sick. I wonder if that's a thing. I'm gonna look into that now.
We're gonna have to take a look into that. But guys, should also take a look into Vacant Voice. They're awesome. By the time this video comes out, there will be also a reaction video to Roscoe's Violent Dreams. Go check it out. It's an insanely killer track. And honestly, if you aren't listening to it, you're wrong. So please go give it a listen. I'll also leave links to their website and their social media and all that sort of stuff. So make sure to give them a follow. I've already followed them on social media, but I didn't follow them on Spotify yet since the last time I had them on, nothing was out. So now it is. So now you can go follow them everywhere. So go do that. And if you enjoyed this interview, share, like, subscribe. I've been just absolutely grinding it out for like the past month. That's probably why I'm sick. So if you could just, help me out here, that'd be really sick. And no pun intended. And please go give Vacant Voice some love if you can. It's been awesome having them on again. obviously you didn't see the first interview. That was also great, but that will be in both me, Mike, and Brad's memory. So go check that out. And also check out the reaction video. And huge thanks to the guys for coming back on with such short notice.
Thank you, man.
Man, it's been awesome.